might be my arrogance, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for them shows and you study that pimp biology.
What's going on, Mushpuffs? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, DEADONDAVE, coming at you live on this beautiful Monday evening here in Germany, 10 o'clock on, what is it, December 10th, 2018. How are you guys doing? It's been a good day so far. We had a great Twitch stream earlier, and I thought what better way to nightcap everything off nice and gently than go ahead and doing some streaming for you right here. A good old-fashioned DEADONDAVE live. We're getting everything back to 5x5, 100% optimal. We're messing with the settings, so hopefully everything is going to be looking really good today. We're not going to be having a lot of stuttering. I did some testing earlier on Twitch, so let me know how everything's looking in the chat, and I do appreciate y'all being here. I see some people already filing up on in here. I see Ben Stone. Of course, I remember you. What's going on there? Dalton Clark, how are you doing? Makad, Ben Stone, P. Gaze, Red Fox, Honey, what's going on? Terry Snow Queen as well. All you wonderful, beautiful people. What's up, TKO Rising? Make sure all you hit that like button and all that good stuff. Jesus, Dalton, I'm not going to sit here and tank my show by talking about my basic training thing when I have an entire show already built. Jesus Christ. Calm down and call in at the end of the show, and you can ask me whatever question is in that little noggin of yours. Because, yes, we do have some topics. We do have some things we're going to get to. It's Hot Take Monday, and I got a lot of things that I want to talk about. Well, really, I got three major things that I want to talk about that I have some hot takes on, or mild takes, probably tepid takes. Lukewarm at best. We'll see how it goes. But make sure you guys file on in to the Discord. Somebody, one of my beautiful mods, will put that Discord link in there in just moments. So I'm still getting used to being back in Germany and everything and doing all the things that I typically do and all that stuff. And it jumbles sometimes. You're trying to get everything in order. You want to do the best that you can. You want to get the best shows out. You go through all the testing. You're looking for stories. You're trying to get everything that you could possibly get together so you can give the best possible show that you can, right? I mean, that's what we try to do each and every single day. So I'm getting myself a robot. Well, not technically a robot. I have ordered a new automated service that will be here tomorrow. And it's called the Autonomous Live Streaming Expression Service. Autonomous Live Streaming Expression Service. And that beautiful system shows up tomorrow, and you'll meet her tomorrow, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Going to add something new to the show, and we're going to have some fun with that. So buckle up for that one. That'll be tomorrow. But for today, let's jump right into the whole situation that everybody really is talking about right now. And I did not put it in the title. I don't even know if I put it in the tags, but it's the story that people are really just going nuts about, either one way or the other. It's a story so hot and really disgusting that just by talking about it, people are getting a lot of criticism. And that's always unfortunate. So while you're listening to this very, very disturbing story that's happened on Twitch, make sure you check out right here. Keep looking into that man's eyes. That's RealTalk Metaphor Messiah, and he's got a brand new album out on January 1st. You like how I did that? See, I gave you a sandwich there. You know, you got some shit, and then I gave you some good on top of the shit. So now the shit won't taste as bad because you got greatness in RealTalk Metaphor Messiah to look forward to on the 1st of January. Of course, the shit that I'm talking about is the situation with Mr. Deadmoth. Oh my fucking God. This is one of the craziest things that I think we've seen on Twitch in a long time. And before we really get into the big crux of everything and the divide that everybody seems to be having on this topic, I think the most important thing that I want to talk about to begin is the video itself. If you don't know what happened, basically, a guy was streaming in Australia. He was getting harassed a little bit by a significant other, which we're all used to. Everybody gets, talk. Maybe you stream too much, you get a little talking to, and you move on with your life. Well, this escalated very quickly, and it turned violent in both regards. It's very unfortunate. There were children in the house. It really was a disgusting situation. And I'm going to get into the finer points of it as we talk about it. But the first thing, it's just the video existing. Because if that story gets told, and now you have to keep in mind, we don't see any of the strikes happen. The strikes happen. We know that. He hit her. We know it. It's 100%. There's no doubting that. But we don't see the type of strikes. We don't see any of that. We see the build up to it. Now, this is interesting to me because we've talked about this in the past. Ray Rice, we've seen it recently as well with some other NFL players. When an incident happens, typically, you know, the cops come, you talk to your team, you let the NFL know, you let whoever you're working for, whatever the case may be, know. And if that's how the situation is, and that's all there is to it, and it's just the story being told, that's one narrative. And typically, a certain amount of events will happen based off of that narrative. In Ray Rice's case, he served a very short suspension, if at all. I don't even think he ended up serving a suspension at first. He let the NFL know. He let his team know what had happened. No files were charged. No charges were filed. None of that stuff. He wasn't arrested. He ended up marrying the girl that he absolutely Ray Riced in an elevator, and everything moved on hunky-dory. Until the video dropped. You see, once you can see something, and you can feel that emotion in those actions, it changes it completely. And I always, when I tell these type of stories, I always go back to Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle, George Carlin tend to be two of the greatest philosophers we will ever have in the history of the world. And Dave Chappelle, the wise man that he is, said, you know, if I fuck a fat chick and I tell my friends about it, it's really not that big of a deal. They're going to laugh. That's about it. Maybe laugh. Might just brush it off. But if a video surfaces of me fucking said fat chick, my life's over. You know, that's the same type of deal, but with the violence, obviously it's a different connotation altogether. But it's that visceral connection to being able to see what is going on. And in this video, it's even more frightening because it's like a horror movie. You only see the buildup to the event, but you don't get to see what actually happened. You only get to hear the things that transpire afterwards. You only get to hear her screaming to the audience that he just hit me. You get to see, it's just a complete clusterfuck of a situation. So the first thing, there is absolutely no question. He's a piece of shit. There's no defending him. There's nothing. There's nothing here. He is an absolute piece of garbage for putting his hands on the girl. But anybody who is saying that this situation is as cut and dry as just him being a woman beating piece of shit, you were not watching this video. There was a lot of nuances, and I talked to two different therapists today, believe it or not. I talked to two people that I've known for a little while that gave me a little bit of insight to this, and they helped me out a little. So basically, by watching this video, and you check it out as you go, you'll see this is normal behavior. This seems very normal behavior. These type of aggravated conversations, this seems very normal. He didn't even react to it at first. He just told her, I'll be off in a minute. Fuck off, you know? That's all that happened. She escalates, he re-escalates. Now, that is not putting on any blame for the person who got hit, but the reality is, if either one of these two people, either one of them decide to walk away at any point, none of this happens. And why I have a problem with both people in this situation in general is they did it in front of their children. Both of them. Both of them chose to do this in front of their children. Not one of them stopped and even pointed. There was two children in there. Two children under the age of 3, and she was pregnant her fucking self. This is absolute insanity on every goddamn level. But there was absolute aggravation that was going on here, and he reacted in the worst possible way. That is not an excuse by any stretch, because you don't hit somebody because they won't leave you alone. However, when things keep escalating, it's already gone to a physical standpoint. Now, you can dismiss the fact that she threw a can or a cardboard box at him like it's not that big of a deal, but that is a big escalation point. Without that moment, this may not escalate any further than just some stupid shouting, and that's it. But when you start getting physical with the guy's equipment, he's going to make a decision. Am I going to take this up a notch, or am I going to turn off the stream and take it up a notch? Am I going to walk away? Am I going to just give in and go sit down? What's going to happen? Those decisions have to happen in an instant. I don't envy anybody here. This is such a fucking crazy thing because I've had moments of contention with my family over the years on Twitch, but never to the point where I forgot that I was streaming. You know, that's the crazy thing. And even aside from that, streaming and then having that conversation in front of your children is even more fucking insane. And like Terry just said, she put the kids and herself in jeopardy. Yes and no. I mean, look, she could have made better choices herself. But again, we're not trying to get to a point where we're going to be victim blaming here in any stretch of the imagination, because that's not what this is about. This is about the reaction to everything and all the articles that I've been reading since. Now, there's one in particular. I'm not even going to link it, but if you want to look it up, look it up. The Washington Post covered this, and it was interesting to me. Half the article was just about the event. They really don't offer anything new into the proceedings. They don't offer any new details that we didn't already know. And this was kind of a later piece. It was like done in the last 6 hours or so. So it was a lot of regurgitating and a lot of updating, finding out that I believe, I didn't get to see it because I'm blocked, so I don't know. But apparently Keemstar did a drama alert where he got some details of this wrong. Apparently, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, Keemstar, at least according to the articles that I read earlier, and I don't know if he has gone back on this or if he's offered a retraction or an update or whatever. I don't really care. But the interesting thing is he did say that both members that were involved were arrested, allegedly. That doesn't seem to be the case. Everything that's saying that happened now is that he was arrested, he's been charged, and a restraining order has been filed. The woman and the children are perfectly okay, shaken up, but okay. It will not shock me to find out that these two end up getting back together, because it seems like this is normal behavior that turned up a notch that maybe neither one of them was expecting. Her being pregnant certainly has something to do with it, emotions, hormones, whatever you want to say, but people work through these type of things. But in this situation, maybe he doesn't get past it because his career is over. There's no coming back to Twitch after this. Even if his account wouldn't have been deactivated, there's no coming back from this nowadays. If ever. If fucking ever. It's certainly no coming back from it now. It's one of those insane things that I haven't seen in a while. And if it was just that, it would be something to behold. Like, this is fucking insane just on its own. But it's the reactions that are going around right now that are really fucking insane to me. I'm seeing a lot of people, some people that I actually really respect, that are shutting down full people. You can't even talk about this story without burying the guy 100% and not even talking about what the female did, or you're a piece of shit. If you bring up any other side of the story, other than the fact that he hit her, nothing else matters. Doesn't matter that the situation was instigated. It doesn't matter if there was children in the room that both parents knew were there. None of that matters. None of it. To some people out there, they're going on a holy crusade and just trying to fuck up anybody and paint people in negative lights just for having these opinions that there might be a second part to the story that we don't see. Now, maybe that is something that nobody wants to hear. And if you're one of those people who simply want to stick your fingers in your ear, that's perfectly fine. But when I see something like this, and I see something that is so disgusting, and this is, I have to ask why. That's just how my brain works. And I have to start looking at this critically and seeing I've watched this video about 17 times. It's been a disgusting fucking day for me how many times I've watched this video. It's repugnant, but I can't look away because I want to know more about this. Like, this is because of the children, because there's kids involved. Like, where does it get to that point? How does it go that far? Why do we get this way? Especially when it could have easily just been avoided by both people. It's fucking crazy to me. But the reactions have mirrored that. We've seen craziness from almost everybody. And now with mainstream media picking up the story more and more, we're seeing the big problem with the entire situation. This is another black mark, in her case, black eye, but I'm kidding, calm down, pump the brakes. Yes, you can joke about this too. Yes, you can joke about this too. You can joke about anything. That is the reality, especially when it's something so ridiculous. $20 coming in from Shy. What's going on? Gorgeous lady, thank you so much for that donation. Very, very kind of you. Let me give you a little flexing. Oh, thank you so much. And I'll probably chug a beer for you before the end of the stream just to say me thank you. And I'll give you a hat change right now. Oh, you know what? For you, you're getting Princess Dave. You're getting Princess Dave. So now that we've covered the crux of the actual incident, it's the backlash that's coming Twitch's way and really all platforming's way. Because if you read any of these articles by the mainstream media, and once again, I'm going to point you to the Washington Post's article that I read this morning. I'm not linking it. It pissed me off that much, but look it up. If you want to look it up, I'm telling you, you're going to get mad. And you're not going to get mad at the first half of the article. The first half of the article is not so bad. Okay? That first half, it's just the who, what, where, when, why, and how. It's a standard article. There's a few opinions in there, but mostly it's just boom, 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 boom. And then it starts talking about other violence on Twitch. It starts talking about an incident that happened at a Twitch game outdoor event in Florida a while back, where it happened on stream, apparently, where a red dot, I didn't even hear about this story, by the way. This happened in Florida. A red dot was shown on somebody's chest, and then seconds later, he and the person next to him, or she and the person next to him, was shot and killed, apparently live on fucking stream. I don't even remember this. Now, maybe that's just because so many atrocities have happened, we've all become blind to it, or at least I have, and you don't, not everything connects. But I didn't hear about this. So seeing that was interesting. And then they start citing more. And then they start linking that somehow to the Las Vegas shooting. The entire article and many, many more. This was not the only article that I found like this. They're all using it just like they did with PewDiePie, with the whole joke situation that happened there, to paint a negative light to all gamers. This is once again another desperate attention grab by the mainstream media to put a negative light on all gamers because of the actions of one. And not even the action of just a normal person. They're Australian. We know Australians are fucked up. My God, if anybody's seen anything for views, Jesus Christ. The Australians are fucked. We know this. No, I'm kidding, Australia. Calm down. Calm down. But it's really, it's an insane fucking thing. Zanta says the drama alert is still up. I don't even know if Keem knows that he made a mistake there. I don't know if anyone's pointed it out to him, but the articles are. And that's something else that I noticed. It's something else that I've been noticing in every single article. Anything that they can use to kind of curtail the whole premise that, we have a new thing on the internet and it's just as reliable as ours, the mainstream, they're going to do everything they can to pour cold water on that. They do not want anybody relying on anybody else for anything. So they're going to pick the biggest name that they possibly can in the YouTube news world. And one of the biggest names right now is arguably Keemstar. And he's also one of the easiest ones to pick up on for mistakes because Keemstar makes mistakes. This one was a little bit weird because I don't know where he got his information from, but it is clear now that she did not get arrested. She did not get arrested, but he apparently did report that both of them were apprehended, which was not the case. At least not as of 6 hours ago, and not according to many, 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 many mainstream news articles. And this is not even to shit on Keemstar. This is not even, I didn't even bring it up just to go, ha ha ha, you fucked up a little bit, because it's a minor mistake. It's not a major mistake. It's not even worth criticizing Keemstar over. But again, it goes back to the same thing. It's what it's being used for. These mistakes, these type of incidents as well, are being used to cast an entire visage on the community, on gamers, on us, because we're subhuman. We are not worthy of entertaining you in the same way that the mainstream media is. I find this absolutely disgusting in so many ways. It drives me crazy. As Zanta says, no, the Madden story is on Drama Alert. Oh, okay. No, I don't watch Drama Alert. I don't care. I don't. Why am I going to watch something with somebody that I don't trust as a reliable news source, for one? I don't like. And I mean, that's it. There wasn't a 3. I was getting ahead of myself, but there was not a 3. So to me, it's interesting to see where this is going and how it's being used and how it's going to be used further. The timing of it is pretty bad too. We need positive things coming out of the gaming world. We don't need situations like this to continue to happen, and especially be used in the way that they're going to be. So I don't know where everybody stands on this. I don't think this is the type of story where you're going to be just casting and assigning blame on a certain person, or I don't even think that should be the crux of it. Look, if you need somebody to tell you that hitting somebody else is wrong, you probably need to be hit yourself. Because we know at this point that hitting other people is wrong. You shouldn't do it. And you certainly shouldn't do it when you have an audience. I mean, that would be like me saying, hey, Alicia, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Why aren't you asleep?
Because I want to bring back the water.
That's like me doing that. There you go. I just really wanted to get my kid on because I miss her. Look how cute she is. Oh, RKO out of nowhere. I'm kidding. Get out of here. Go to sleep. I love you. Dave's going to jail. But it's a crazy situation. The entire thing has gone way off the rails, and it feeds into the next story, my next hot take, my tepid take, my lukewarm take. Kevin Hart. Now, it feeds into it as far as this. The stigma, the black eye that will follow you forever is always a problem. And we're seeing this now. So this guy in Australia better hope he never is invited to host the Oscars or he's fucked. Me too, because I just abused my child on screen. I'm never hosting the Oscars. And neither is Kevin Hart now. Kevin Hart is also not hosting the Oscars because he, I don't know how to tell you this. He made some jokes 10 years ago about gay people. I know. How could he do such a thing? But then he folded like a fucking tent. Stepped down on his own accord. He was being fired anyway, so the step down really didn't mean anything because he was going to be removed. But he continued to suck the ass of anyone that would listen and apologize and apologize and apologize. You're a comedian. Congratulations. You can no longer tell jokes. Because here's my problem with the entire situation as it stands right now. It is being used in such a crazy way. You know, we're seeing this happen over and over. Where if you do anything, and it's not even if you do anything, you could do whatever you want. You can actually, when you're nobody, you could say, you could tweet, you could do whatever the shit you want at any given time. But the second you blow up, the second you become, I don't know, a Heisman Trophy winner, not even get signed to a football team, a high caliber football team like in Oklahoma, for instance. No. It's when you win the Heisman, these things come out. Tweets from the past that ruin your job. Tweets from the past that end your career at Marvel, that take you away from a franchise that you've helped build. It's pretty crazy to me that these continue to happen. Now, does that mean that things that people say shouldn't ever matter? No, of course not. People should be held accountable for certain things that they say. No question. But context should always be taken in consideration. You know, the fact is, on Twitter, on social media, the things that people type, they vary in reasons. There are not a great amount of people who use social media to make 100% crazy points at all time, unless you're already crazy, unless you're a right-wing lunatic, unless you have some sort of agenda that you want to push on other people. You're not really talking like that all the time. So when you make jokes and you drop the N-word, you drop a gay slur, you do any of these things, you say, get me a sandwich to a woman, whatever the case may be, they're all going to come back and get used against you because there's no way to tell context from a tweet. And that's the issue. You know, even the things that we say here on the show, constantly, we see people use clips from people all the time to try and fucking destroy their careers, to take away their credibility, whatever the case may be. It's insane to me how we see it over and over being used this way. And nobody stands up. Almost 100% of the time, everybody goes on and apologizes and says, I'm not this person. I'm a different person now. That's all fucking irrelevant, because the second that you apologize and you don't just continue to go on, you've lost the fight. But is that really fair? Not really, because it's not my career that they're trying to protect. They're trying to protect their own career, and they have every right to do so. But when's enough going to be enough? And this goes into the whole conversation of equality or over punishment, because nothing is about getting things in harmony, because we're never going to be in harmony. Not when only certain people can't be joked on. Not when only certain people can't have a slur. If fucking Tariq Nasheed, who has used many, many white slurs over the course of his fucking time, and so many others, not just black folk, not just Mexican folk, not Chinese folk, all folk, everybody, you, me, lottie-dottie, everybody could use honky, cracker, and all kinds of shit right now, and it will not fucking matter. Because there's only sections of the population that are protected by this outrage culture that has manifested itself into this ball of just inertia that cannot be stopped, it seems. Every time we think that it gets slowed down, something else happens to help push it right down the fucking hill and bowl down anybody who's in their way. And it's fucking craziness how it never seems to end. Nothing ever catches up to it. You know, was Kevin Hart's jokes about not wanting his child to be gay, was it appropriate? Sure. I'll tell you why. Because it's fucking comedy. Because it's comedy. Of course it's appropriate. Whether or not it's funny is irrelevant. Why does everybody have to get so fucking outraged on every little thing nowadays and use it to destroy? But only when it's convenient. And this comes into terms because of something that happened after it. Because some people did get tired of seeing Kevin Hart get shit on. His friends, Nick Cannon being one of them, a guy who's had his own controversy in the past. Many controversies, as a matter of fact. He stood up and his way of fighting back was showing, which fucking insane to me, my God, showing tweets from white women celebrities because somehow that balances everything out, which is even more funny when you take into consideration that Nick Cannon himself tweeted out in 2011 or 2012 that context does not matter when you're using these words, when you're saying these type of slurs, you should be held accountable. Those were his words, and then he goes full hypocrisy mode and changed it because his boy is now in the crosshair of, where was he when Roseanne Barr? Where was he when Roseanne Barr was getting hit? Where was he when other people were losing? Where was he when James Gunn lost his fucking job over at Marvel? Where was he? He was too busy saying, you can't say those words, except when, again, it's one of his friends. I find this amazing because a black man gets hit, gets hit with all this insanity. Another black man wants to throw other white women celebrities under the bus to somehow balance the scales. That should tell you everything you need to know about how insane the fucking situation has become. Nobody can even see the forest through the trees anymore and see the damage that everybody is doing by continuing to do these tweet hunts. That's not going to help anything. You know why? Everybody's an asshole. Everybody has said something dirty. Everybody feels something that's not proper. You know why? Because we're not perfect beings. We're creatures of lust, anger, excitement, jealousy, rage, betrayal. We have all these things in us at all times, and we try to keep them in balance so we do not become entirely big old pieces of shit. We like to have our own morality. We like to have our own codes. Everybody has them. Everybody has certain guidelines that they fall upon, and they don't really go away from them too often until, of course, once again, it becomes convenient, because that is what we see. Convenience trumps everything else. It really does. As soon as things are convenient, it's amazing how your morals don't matter anymore. It's amazing how your point that you've used against other people simply don't matter anymore. And this is something that I think is important even more so than ever before because of how we're seeing it used on YouTube right now. Right now, we're seeing in the blood sports world especially, good Lord, everybody is spewing everything in every single direction. You don't even know what's fucking true anymore. And that's part of the point. That's why I'm starting to wonder if everything is just for entertainment purposes anyway. Because most of the stuff that's being thrown around, all the allegations, whether it be in Hollywood, whether it be on YouTube or whatever, not all of it can be 100% proven. You know? Not everything can. There's going to be some nuances in almost every single situation. That's the point of it. Keeps people guessing. Keeps people on their toes. It's fucking insane to me. Lord Vega, I don't know what an appropriate conversation feels like, nor should you. They're boring. We're people. We fight. We fuck. We get jealous. We get angry. It's what we do. We love hard. We fight harder. Sometimes we fight for love. Sometimes we fight for other things in our lives. That's what humanity is all about. And we got to stop acting like everybody is just not going to be human because now the world is so interconnected. This shit didn't matter 40 fucking years ago. If you heard somebody say something nasty about something else from somebody else from the next county, you gossiped about it and then you moved on about your fucking day. That was it. Now it lives forever. It follows you. Now, it almost seems the prudent thing to do would be just completely get rid of social media altogether. because we can't handle it. And it's not even the people who are saying stupid shit. It's the people who are reporting on it and trying to use it as a fucking weapon, whether because they want their agenda to be pushed, whether they want their form of media to still be relevant, or just because they want to take down a prick who may have pissed them off in the past. It's being used in the wrong way. And everybody who's saying stop, I think at this point, we're just running around in circles. Nothing's going to get accomplished. The genie is out of the bottle. You can't put it back in. Twitter is a thing. People are not going to just wake up one day and stop having stupid thoughts. People are not going to stop making stupid videos for whatever reason, whether because of it's their own comedic tastes or because they want to make money. Those reasons are irrelevant. Just like the reasons behind Kevin Hart's fucking comedic stand-up special that he did 10 years ago, or even his apology now. The reasons are irrelevant. We have to stop searching for the whys in these situations. It's not like this is a murder investigation and we need to figure out the motive of it. No, these are words that are being used in a clear context that are being completely misconstrued for a purpose. And that's it. It's to the point now where I just want to punch multiple babies. And now I'm definitely never hosting the Oscars. All right, I got one more topic for you, and I guarantee this one's a lot better and a lot more fun. And then we're going to get to some calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and so much more. And if you don't like today's topics, well, tomorrow we'll be having a whole new way of getting topics, because I've decided with this new amazing frame, which, by the way, you can thank Lord Vega for, because he is the god. Look what he did, how beautiful this thing is, that we need to upgrade our story researching. We need to keep me more organized. So I found somebody to help me out with something. I searched high and low, and I found a tech company that could make something work for me. So tomorrow, joining Dead on Dave Live permanently will be the autonomous live streaming expression service. That's right. Dave got a robot, and she'll be on tomorrow. You'll meet her. It'll be fantastic. Very excited for it. Look forward to that. If that's not worth dropping a like for, I don't know what the fuck it is, okay? There's no other thing in the world worth dropping a like for than a new robot butler for Dave. I mean, robot servant. No, robot companion. Yes, robot companion. That's what she's going to be. There you go. And I promise I won't even have sex with this robot companion. Eh? Probably not. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, okay, so get in the Discord. I want to hear from you guys. That'll be just in a moment. We got one more thing to talk about. We're going to go on a good note. Avengers. The Avengers trailer has dropped. Avengers 4. PGAs, no, it's not Aeon, you dumb asshole. In fact, I can promise you this. This is a voice you never heard on this channel before. So there you go. Just remember, no sexing the robot when you're in the U.S. Thank you, honey. Will do. Big Auntie's in the house. What's up, Dave? How you doing? Reanimator. Oh, no, you bought Alexa. This is so sad. Played Despacito 42. No, I'm telling you, it's a whole new thing altogether. Trust me. You guys, it's going to revolutionize Dead on Dave Live. I promise you that. But yes, Avengers 4 trailer has been released. We're going to be getting that Avengers movie in April of 2019. And of course, being the type of event that Avengers has turned into, everybody went absolutely crazy trying to scour over this trailer. That is after everyone was done jerking off all over it, because this trailer got a lot of love. Now, there are certain people out there, there are some, of course, that do not feel this trailer was as captivating or as important as the Infinity War trailer, which I completely disagree with. I really do. I disagree with it wholeheartedly, mainly because unless you didn't watch Infinity War, if you watched Infinity War, this trailer was powerful. If you've been watching every Marvel movie since the inception of the MCU, this is the culmination of over 20 films in 10 years. So to see the things in the trailer, to see Tony Stark floating, presumably to his death, to see Captain America in both different versions of Captain America, perhaps, to see all these people talking and seeing people missing to see that there's going to be finality to everything, but they have to figure out how they're going to do it first. It was captivating. And then the entire hilarity at the end with Ant-Man coming to the compound, which was brilliant, but it was also a pretty big spoiler. You see, the internet is smart. The internet has cross-referenced a lot of different things to come up with a pretty good theory on what exactly is going to happen in Avengers 4. So that makes me ask you guys this question. How do you think they're going to wrap up Avengers 4? And with some of the things that happened in the trailer, now one of the biggest being Captain America's suit. It was the exact same suit that he wore in Winter Soldier or Civil War. I think it was Civil War. I may have just misspoke. Doesn't matter. It was in one of those two movies. It was a very specific suit to a movie and a period in time. Now, with that and Ant-Man being there and having the van that he had, which is a very important item in itself, if you've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, more importantly, the ending, the post-credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, you know how important that van is. That van is the key to everything because that van transports you to the quantum realm, which it seems there's a possibility for time travel in that area, which seems to be exactly what Avengers 4 is going to be. Time travel. Now, why is time travel so important for this movie? It's not just because half the world is dead. It's actually because of something else that we saw in the trailer. And not a lot of people noticed it. I didn't even notice it the first couple of times. When Thanos puts his suit, makes a Thanos scarecrow, he's also walking through the reeds of his hometown, his home planet. And if you look carefully, the Infinity Gauntlet is burned the fuck out. That means it's not working anymore. They did that for a reason. They showed us that for a purpose. There's no hope in the current timeline. This has to go to a time travel situation or nothing else is going to work. Now, a lot of people are very excited about this. I'm not. And I'll tell you why, because we've already done it. Now that we've seen Doctor Strange, we now know the ending to Infinity War. Everything's going to be undone by either a time loop, time travel, or simply reset button. I don't think people want to see that. So here's my hot take on Avengers 4. Aside from it being wonderful, aside from it being an incredible trailer and everything, I think this is going to be one of the worst received movies in the MCU. When you get past the emotion of the movie, and the emotion of the movie is going to be very important, okay? But when the final moments of this movie is winding down, or at least the fulcrum of this movie where everything is going to switch and turn on its head and everything is going to be undone and we're going to get that regrouping of all the Avengers one more time to fuck up Thanos or maybe even another situation that we're unaware of. And everyone starts to realize that it's Captain Marvel and Ant-Man that are doing all of these things. I think that it's going to start to kind of get on people's nerves. I think this movie is going to kind of be a big letdown because we've already seen all the things that have happened. Now, maybe some people can argue that's part of the charm and that's what's going to make people really gravitate towards it because this is a callback heavy movie. Obviously, it's going to be because they're going to be going back in time and literally calling back old scenes. We now know that there's been sets that have been reconstructed from the originals from other movies. They're going to be visiting other moments in time, which is going to allow a lot of things to happen. It's going to allow a lot of different comedic moments. We may not even get actual in real world reunions between characters because it might happen in past scenarios, which is interesting. It's a way that they can do it without just throwing everybody in and having that big Avengers moment that you have in every Avengers movie. You can do it in a different nuanced way. Now, don't get it twisted. We're still going to have that exact same moment, but I'm wondering how they're going to do this and if they were possibly influenced by Daredevil. Because if one thing is certain about Ryan Reynolds, anything Ryan Reynolds does is not just on a whim. The fact that his whole post-credit scene of Deadpool 2 was all about correcting the mistakes from the past by and using a device by Cable, who is also played by Josh Brolin, who plays Thanos. I'm sorry, I can't for a second think that there is not something connecting there. And the fact that Ryan Reynolds would go as far as that he did, you know, to even kill himself in the post-credit scene when he was taking the job of Green Lantern, of course, I found even more interesting. It's fucking... Did I say Daredevil? I'm sorry. I meant Deadpool. My bad. Excuse me. I'm fucking tired. Leave me alone. Psycho Reader Dead on Dave. I think the snap will come back, but 1, 2, or all, probably not all the original Avengers will die. I'm starting to think that maybe that's not going to happen. And I'll tell you why. And this is going to be the last thing that I'm going to talk about when it comes to Avengers. Then we're going to go into the Discord and take some calls. I think that everyone's going to stay alive, or at least a majority of people will stay alive. The main Avengers, because unless they do full character redesigns, you know, unless it is just full handing over the shield, handing over the iron suit, handing over Myanmar, whatever the case may be, the Russo brothers have already dropped a big hint of what the next big thing, maybe not phase 4, but maybe beyond, and that's Secret Wars. And if you know Secret Wars, you know some of the people who are very important and integral to that entire timeline, that entire story. And Steve Rogers is incredibly important. So I don't see them... I don't think that they can do Secret Wars justice by having a new Captain America do the things that are required of Captain America in Secret Wars. It can't be Bucky doing that. The reason why it was so important and why there's an event that happens in Secret Wars that is so turning and changing is because of who Captain America is and his lineage, and who Steve Rogers is, more important. So I'm not so certain that some of the people that we've been expecting were going to die, Steve Rogers being one of them, Iron Man, I think those are the two that most people are expecting to die. Thor I don't see going, although he would be a shocker. You know, if they just kill Thor out of nowhere, I think that would be pretty shocking for a lot of people. So it would be interesting to see what route they're going to go with it. I'm looking forward to all of this because it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to suss it all out. So we'll see how it goes. PG's Robert Downey, he's got one foot in the grave. He always does. Reanimator PewDiePie will review Thanos on Meme Review and kill him. There you go. Fan fiction. I haven't seen the last Avengers. Did they include Adam Warlock in it? I used to have the first spectacular issue many years ago. No, I don't think they did. You think Serenity will show up? I don't know. I don't know who's showing up. That's the thing. We might see new superheroes. We did see one of the big things that we didn't talk about this trailer is Barton. And you notice I'm calling him Barton because I'm not calling him Hawkeye anymore because he's clearly not Hawkeye. And that was one of the things that I really did enjoy, or Sentry, excuse me, Toxic Dumb, not Serenity. Sentry, my good God, Sentry. I can't read today. Sentry. Which I found really interesting in the trailer was Barton. Because that wasn't Barton. That wasn't Hawkeye. We know who that was. That was Ronan. That was 100% Ronan. I mean, aside from the fact that he was in Japan, aside from the fact that he was that was Ronan, which is awesome, but also a little disconcerting. We don't know if that's part of timeline stuff. We don't know if Black Widow is just trying to find Barton. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we have a pretty good idea of why Barton has made this transformation, because more than likely, his family was dusted. Pretty fucking amazing. So this is going to be a whole nother story, and it gives hope for the entire Avengers 4 movie to have more flushed out stories for people that we may not have gotten to see a lot of storyline of in the past, or important parts of people that we have not gotten to see. So I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be very interesting, and we'll see how it goes. There you go. Terry, do you all think they sent Dave the damn script? No, they did not even a little bit. This is all just best guess. And trust me, I've watched a lot of Easter egg digging videos to try and find as much information as I possibly can about it. So it's good stuff. That's it for me. That's all the stuff that I have to talk about. I will have more tomorrow because, like I said, we got a brand new automated system that is going to be helping me keep all my thoughts and things together. I'm very excited. I'm finally getting a robot. It's happening. I'm getting an Android. Oh my God. And I cannot wait for it. You guys are going to be very excited to see this. So make sure you're here tomorrow. If you miss tomorrow, you're in for a hurting, because you're going to want to be a part of something that I believe that Elon Musk will one day talk about. Tomorrow is going to be such a revolutionary day for mankind when we see that one of the most magnificent creatures walking the earth is able to seamlessly integrate with somebody from the robotic realm. Things are going to happen, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it. You should be excited to be a part of it. Anyways, let's go. Fanfiction narrator, no, you need to talk about the Sonic movie. Do I have to? Why? Why do I have to do that? Carl G, he watched the trailer like 50 times the day it was released. I did. Yeah, this is true. Why? I don't want to talk about it. No, it looks awful. Why is this happening? Okay, fine, I'll talk about it. Why is it happening? Why? Who asked for it? That's what I want. Who asked for fucking Sonic? What is Sonic going to do? Oh my God, now we're all going to talk about all these things that are happening with Sonic. Oh, is Tails going to happen? What about Knuckles? What about Dr. Robodick? Dr. Robotnik, I'm just kidding. Calm down, Smarks. Don't get all crazy on me. No, that's all I'm going to talk about. Fuck Sonic. I'm not watching that movie. I'm never playing another Sonic game. In fact, I don't even want to say the word Sonic again. If I see a hedgehog, I might kick it into the fucking street. That's how angry that stupid fucking graphic made me this morning. Film oddities, because Detective Pikachu is happening. Had nothing to do with it. Have nothing to do with it. Tobes, I hate that. That's the second time I heard this argument today about Detective Pikachu being the reason why Sonic. No. They're not. No, look. Pokemon has a long establishment of movies. Maybe not a live action movie, and it was the first one of its kind as far as that goes. But this has been going to that, and trust me, the popularity of Pokemon and Pikachu is far greater than that of fucking Sonic. You know, there are so many other video game characters with much greater lore and marketability, by the way, that they could have used. The fact that they went to fucking Sonic is just, I don't know. But then again, we said the same thing when Guardians of the Galaxy was announced. Guardians of the Galaxy got announced, and everyone was like, why the fuck would we get Guardians of the Galaxy? Film oddities. Dave, that's what the producer said. Well, the producer's a fucking idiot, because that doesn't even make sense. So they saw Detective Pikachu and they're like, Sonic. Nah, it doesn't make sense to me. That's stupid. That's dumb. It's Pikachu. Sonic isn't Pikachu. No, I can't get that one. Can't get there. Sorry. You know he's too fast for the naked eye, right? You know, I'm going to punch myself right in the fucking face. Reanimator. Sonic is better than that Italian pedo-looking plumber. Everybody needs to take a step back and think about the things that you guys are fucking saying. The Psycho Reviewer, I mean, Mario is already getting a movie. Mario already got a movie. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Super Mario Brother. I don't know what's fucking better. I don't know what's better. The fact that they made that fucking garbage movie, or that they stuck some huge... Bob Hoskins is in that fucking movie. We're talking about Academy Award winner, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Bob fucking Hoskins, okay? We're talking... They put so many good actors in this goddamn movie, and it's just one of the biggest pieces of shit to ever come out. But I love it. I do. I'm sorry to say that movie... Dennis Hopper, yes. I'm sorry to say that movie is a big guilty pleasure of mine. You know why? Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Yes! And that big bitch in the movie, too. My God, she could Nia Jax me all night long. Good Lord. Actually, no, she's a little bit out of my punching range. So, it's crazy. Honey, what did Bob Hoskins do after he ruined his career with that abomination? He died. Because there was nothing else to go. There was nowhere else to go. John Leguizamo, I'm sure I butchered. That was the only good thing about... No, John Leguizamo is not the good thing about any movie except Pest, which is underrated in the comedy world. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, P to the E, the S to the T. Pest. Oh, great flick. Great flick. All right, let's go ahead and see if anybody is in Discord waiting. Oh, Vega's there. The maker of the frame that you're looking at right now. If you're admiring this frame, this is the guy that you should thank for it. Now, I'm stretching it out because he's muted. I'm hoping he will go ahead and hit the unmute button, but it doesn't look like he's going to. I'm a little confused at the moment. Get into Discord and we will go ahead and have a good time talking bullshit and talk about whatever you want. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and so much more, it doesn't have to be about anything that we already talked about today. It could be about anything else that you might have on your mind, not just my tepid takes, my lukewarm takes, my hot takes. It could be about anything. So good stuff. Film oddities, Dave. I hate when you do that. I hate when you just say my name with a period at the end. And then you didn't even give me the fucking decency of capitalizing at this time, you goddamn cunt. Fan fiction area. The Mario Brothers live action is your guilty pleasure. The one from the 90s, not even Three Ninjas. Three Ninjas is great too. Light up them eyes, boys. Spawn, fantastic. And John Leguizamo wasn't good in Spawn either. Fuck off with that shit. No, that movie was another fucking piece of shit. Horrible flick. And John Leguizamo was terrible in that too. Hate to tell you. I was referring to Restaurant Sonic, not the Hedgehog. Now that Sonic I can get on. Carl G. I think Vegas said he was driving, so don't know if he'll be available to unmute. Well, then why is he in there? I'm just sitting here with Vega in a goddamn chat. Somebody else get in here so I can throw Vega out, or I'm going to get up out of here. Ailsgriff, they should remake Spawn. I believe they are remaking Spawn. I think I read that not that long ago. They are, in fact, remaking Spawn. Because I agree, they should remake Spawn because it's a fantastic comic book that needs to be done goddamn justice. Let's bring in fan fiction narrator. I'm sure he's got something for me. Thanks for getting me on a Sonic rant, by the way, motherfucker. I appreciate that. Uh-oh.
Oh,
there he is.
No, you're good. You're good. No, we have some problems.
Uh-oh.
Some fundamental issues right now.
All right.
That we addressed. John Leguizamo?
Yep.
Good goddamn actor.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
No, you get the fuck out.
Have you, tell me, all right, okay, defend your position. What about John Leguizamo makes him such a great actor? Go ahead, tell me.
He's fucking hilarious. There was that one movie that he did like a serious role in. What was it?
Romeo and Juliet, and he was awful in
it. Yeah, we can agree on that. But everything else, he's brilliant.
Did you like him in what was it, one of those Dawn of the Dead movies where he played a zombie that ended up shooting somebody later in the flick? Did that do it for you? No, John Leguizamo's terrible. The only thing that John Leguizamo's good at is stand-up. He's a great stand-up.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking funny. What movie are you talking about?
One of the more recent Dawn of the Dead. It was something of the Dead. It was one of the later ones. I can't remember which one. It took place. It was when the Dead started kind of coming back to some semblance of humanity. They use guns in these movies, the Dead do, the zombies. I can't remember the title of it. It was one of them. Fuck me in the beard. That's making me crazy.
He must have been trying to make a comeback. I don't blame him for that. I'm not going to fault him. I'll give him
He's awful.
You don't like John Leguizamo? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. You still haven't given me a role that I was like, oh man, he was great in that. I'm still waiting.
The Pest.
No, well, okay, I already gave you The Pest. That's not fair, and he wasn't good in it.
You just told me to give you one.
But he wasn't. But The Pest isn't good because of him. The Pest is great because it's one of the most ridiculous comedies ever made. Oh God, now I'm starting to think of some of the stupid.
That's the one where he played the jiggle-ligglist in Like a Booger, he'll stick
to this. That's right. I'm the jiggle-ligglist. Like a booger, I stick to this. Yes. Oh my God.
Now, there's another fundamental issue.
Land of the Dead. Thank you, Eric the Champ. I'm sorry.
Land of the Dead. I'm going to look that up tonight. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. Oh God. Why?
That was a staple of my childhood.
Mine too.
It was a staple of your childhood too.
Sure.
How the fuck can you? I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
No, I just fucking watched the shit out. I didn't even get to watch the top tier Saturday morning cartoon one. I got to watch the store brand 5 a.m. Weekday cartoons. That's the version I got to watch, and I fucking loved it.
See, I'm gonna upset you because I don't even like that. I didn't even like the cartoon series of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. I like the games, man, and only the first 3, and really only the first 2. You know, I'm just
no, because Sonic 3 was good. Sonic and Knuckles was good. You could attach it to
Sonic and Knuckles
2 and
okay.
3.
Sonic and Knuckles was okay. It didn't really need to happen. It was the exact same game all over again.
The Yeah, except you got a whole new character.
Yay!
It put a whole new spice of life. it added a whole new.
Sid the Sloth. Who's Sid the Sloth? What's Sid the Sloth? Is that another Sonic character? Honestly, I don't even know that one. Yeah, fuck Sonic. No.
I didn't really play any after fucking what is it, Sonic and Knuckles. Well, no, I played Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed. I like that one.
The greatest Sonic game was Sonic Pinball. Don't at me. Sonic Colors? You like that one? That was a great one too, wasn't it? Ice Age John Leguizamo. There you go. Tobes did it. Tobes won your argument for you. Yeah, he was great in Ice Age because we didn't have to see his face. But everyone's good at voice acting.
You're the reason I drink, Dave.
Not the first time I've been told that.
All right, brother. I'm going to hop out of here.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. And thank you for your generosity yesterday, man. It really meant a lot.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
How'd you like that leader chug? Was that fucking great or what? Oh, he left. I did a leader chug yesterday. It was like the first time I've ever done that. And that was, well, the second time because I did one at the World Bowl, which was, I won like $300 from that. It was awesome. The World Bowl was the Super Bowl of NFL Europa. And I went to the final one. Meatloaf was the halftime performance. And during all of that, I went over and went to a beer tent with my buddy Stewie. And he knew I can chug. And he started making bets on my behalf. And he started talking about the biggest drink that they had. And they put this big, gigantic bucket. It was a liter and a half bucket, as a matter of fact. And everybody started putting money on the fucking table. And I won that bitch. It's great. All right, let's bring in Tobes. It's been fun, like the entire time, saying as many things as I can just to trigger Tobes because it's always great. He's joining me now. It's the one, the only, the incredibly gay Super Tobes. What's going on, buddy? Oh my God. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Find your voice. Come on, honey. Find your voice.
Please tell me you can hear me.
Barely.
Oh.
Now, there you go. Get up in there. Talk in that microphone like you mean it.
How you been, Dave?
I'm all right, man. Today's a good day. Got all of the wrinkles out of the system now. We got the stream running a lot better. I don't think we're stuttering anymore today like we did yesterday. Fixed it on Twitch as well.
No, it's not. It looks good.
And I got a robot now. I'll have a robot tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. A new AI companion. That's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
That sounds fun. I was going to come in here and sing some Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. But,
hey, good song.
Yeah, but yeah. Let's talk about Avengers, Dave.
Yes, let's get into it.
I think you're wrong.
On what?
On everything.
You don't think it's going to be a time travel movie?
I don't think it's going to primarily focus.
You know the comics. Why are we acting like we don't know what already happens? You know the comic storyline as well as I do. You know it's time travel. Why are we acting like it's not like we don't know?
Yeah. But like, how many times has Marvel deviated from the comics? How many times has Kevin Feige disregarded and deviated so heavily from the comics?
They do, but even when they do, they always go back to it in this is not like a situation where it's a small deviation and that'll be acceptable. To set up the rest of what they want to do with the MCU, there's only a couple ways that you can go about this. So let me ask, if you don't think it's going to be time travel, what do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to entail some sort of time travel, but I don't think it's going to be the primary method of defeating Thanos. And I don't think it's how the I don't think it's how the Thanos gets defeated.
It's how they get back to the point so they can defeat Thanos. They have to get to that point. The Infinity Gauntlet is burned out. It cannot be used. They made a very, very clear point of showing that. It is done. They showed Steve Rogers in a costume from another fucking timeline. This is so easy to me. And that's without knowing anything that I actually do know from the comic series. And then aside from that, they don't set up Ant-Man and the Wasp the way they do, especially with that ending in the quantum realm, for no reason. Michelle Pfeiffer even says it to him, for fuck's sake. I mean, no, this is way too cut and dry for me, man. I'm sorry. And I think it's going to piss a lot of people off.
I don't think that's some. I can concede to your points up until now, but I don't think it's going to piss people off.
I'm already seeing a lot of backlash online about it. Yeah, you can go on the Twitter post unless it's been completely removed at this point. So Doctor Strange, I saw that over and over. So the Doctor Strange ending, because there's rumors that Doctor Strange may have cast a loop spell just like he did at the end of his movie, which would be fucking ridiculous if that ended up happening. If that whole fucking movie starts with a loop, I'm going to walk the fuck out. I'm telling you right now. I will not watch another second of it.
I was so confused, as in like, but he gave up the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but he may have cast it before. That's what they're saying. I don't know the specifics of it. I don't know if I buy that one too much, but because he said it, that's why people are putting some stock into it. I don't think it's going to be a time loop. I think they're just going to go to the past, collect the Infinity Stones, get a different gauntlet, maybe steal one from the past off of Thanos himself, or go back to when it was forged and get it then. I don't know exactly how they're going to get it. Put it on Captain Marvel because she's the only one strong enough to be able to wield it, and then boom, there you go. That's why Captain Marvel exists. That's why Ant-Man is here. He gives we know that Van has the exact tool they need to time travel. So I just don't know. It's all there for me.
Yeah, probably. I think you have to look at it from an external way. Like, where is the Marvel Cinematic Universe headed as well? Like,
the next
they're
phase.
Talking about the new Avengers. They're talking about, Robert Downey Jr. is probably out by the end of that movie.
Yeah.
So
not dead though. I don't think he's dying. Cap might die, but not him.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think they're gonna kill Tony Stark.
I thought that might be possible, mainly because of, and this is really the Russo brothers' fault, by the way, because when they were doing an interview not that long ago, they were talking about the next time that they'll come out and do another one of these movies, it will be for Secret Wars. That told me a lot right there. So that's why I started to think that maybe Cap isn't going to die, because he's so important to Secret Wars. It can't be Bucky as Cap. That is not going to have the same resonance. It has to be Steve Rogers. And if you know what happens at the end of the first Secret Wars, you know exactly why. So it has to go that way.
Well, they could just put the onus on another character. They've done that before.
But it ain't going to matter.
Well, they've done it before. So there was like a...
In that big of a capstone moment? In that big of a capstone moment?
Well,
point it out.
Yeah.
Where?
Well, I could say that... and it's not coming to mind at this point. But the only one that comes to mind right now is Tony Stark saying, "With great power comes great responsibility."
That's not a capstone moment. That's a catchphrase. You fuck.
Yeah, but where's Uncle Ben in all of this? Dave?
Oh my! You know what? That is a good question, though. Where is Uncle Ben? Yeah. Because we got we already have Spider-Man, who is now there, so he's established. But yeah, no Uncle. Did they ever even talk about Uncle Ben? I mean, I basically fell asleep through Homecoming, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I hated Homecoming. I thought it was awful. I got through. I think I fell asleep 3 different times watching Homecoming, and every time I woke up, I just got angry again and went back to sleep. It's terrible, terrible flick, awful. Nonsensical, too.
I rip your fucking cock off and shove it down your throat.
I love you, too.
That is the best Spider-Man movie.
Oh, well, you know what? That could be true, too, because... That could be true, too. It could be as bad as it was, could still be the best. Because aside from Spider-Man 1, what are we talking about? Every other Spider-Man, yes, the Garfield ones, too, suck.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, they're shit.
The first Spider-Man was good. I disagree.
The entire trilogy.
First Spider-Man was good. First Spider-Man was
They don't age well, Dave.
I rewatched. You know what?
Have you gone
That's
back
fair.
and watched them recently?
That's fair, because I have not watched Spider-Man 1 in a while, to be fair. But to be fair,
yeah, they're all they did not age well. The first Amazing Spider-Man aged relatively well. The second one was just bad on impact. But Homecoming is amazing. Homecoming's like the best Spider-Man movie.
I couldn't get there.
Dave.
I couldn't get
Yeah,
there. Of course you would like it. Of course you would like it, Mr. Touchy-Feely. Every color of the rainbow. Yeah, sure. Fucking course you goddamn like it. It was so in your face SJW at points I couldn't even fucking stand it. It's not even, you know what bothers me? They don't even, it's not even the changing of the fucking genders or the nationalities. That's not a big deal. It's the change of personas completely. Like, there is no semblance of Mary Jane in their Mary Jane. Not even a fucking little. And that bothers me. It doesn't feel...
I grant you that. That bothers me too.
And it didn't feel like Spider-Man to me. Aside from Spider-Man being Spider-Man, which he did a great job in, by the way. Spider-Man, this is the best Spider-Man we've ever had. No question.
It's profitable.
What's that?
Zendaya is profitable.
What?
Zendaya is profitable. Dude.
What's a Zendaya?
Zendaya is the actress.
See, I didn't even care. I didn't even care enough to look her up. What's a Zendaya? I don't even know what that is. Is it a hat? Is it a toaster? Is it a car model? Do I drink it? I mean, like, what are we talking? I don't even know what that is. It doesn't mean anything to me.
The movie's great. I don't know. Look, Tom Holland is hot.
Oh, I agree with that. I'd twink. Yeah, I'd take his Twinkie.
The story is great. The dynamic between Spider-Man and Iron Man is great. The villain is actually a fucking villain. That
I can agree with. I'll tell you.
To fucking other Marvel villains.
I can agree with that point. The two best parts, and maybe the two best parts of any Spider-Man movie ever fucking made, is Tom Holland and fucking Michael Keaton. They are spectacular in that movie. Spectacular. But it doesn't save the movie.
Spider-Man is amazing. It's well captured. More than any other Spider-Man movie.
You know what killed it for me? Honestly, you know what killed the movie for me? The relationship between Spider-Man and Iron Man. It bothered me. I thought this made no sense to me. The way, like, using the situation as bait so many times when they could have easily intervened in different ways. They could have done things in ways that made a lot more sense. Having Spider-Man just act, I understand that he's supposed to be a whiny teenager. I understand he's a sophomore. I get that. I get all of it. It's just not what I wanted to see. And it didn't give me what I wanted out of a Spider-Man movie as much as I love this Spider-Man. And I do. I think he's great. It's just that movie did not do it for me. I'm hoping the next one will. Yeah, I can a little bit. What's up, Vega? I hear you, baby. What's up, Vega?
Hello.
Barely hear you.
I have him on 200%.
Oh my God, I'm on my phone. Jesus, I'm so sorry for it, gentlemen. I'm so sorry for this.
It's okay.
Hello. All right, perfect.
I don't know if anybody else can hear you.
Well,
put him on 200.
I will start screaming. How is that?
Still the same.
Incremental.
Yeah, okay. So I just sound retarded. Okay,
yeah, I got you maxed out, and it's not mattering.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Blame the Google Pixel, whatever the fuck this version is.
I blame you for buying a Google fucking Pixel. What's the matter with you?
What else do you want me to buy? I'm not gonna buy an iPhone. Do I look like a conformist to you, sir?
Galaxy for life, son. Galaxy for life.
Well, whatever.
Trust your elder here, okay?
My thoughts on the Thanos thing, is I don't think. First of all, when he went back into the portal at the end of the other one, he used the gauntlet. If you slow-mo it, go frame by frame, it's actually you see all the colors around his wound when he goes into the portal, and it's healing him on the way out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think that the gauntlet isn't done.
They show it burned out, Vega. I don't know, man. That seemed to be important.
Yeah, but it was burned out. It was burned out before he went into the portal.
You know it was cracked before he went into the portal. I don't know if it was fully burned out yet. It was only cracked.
No, it was burned out.
Was it fully burned out? Okay, well then fuck it. Then there's either a loophole or I'm 100% wrong.
Sir, I saw that movie at least 10 times. Okay?
No. I'm saying, okay, I'm willing to concede that it was already burned out. That's perfectly fine. I'm saying what it means. It either means that they made a loophole, that or they made a mistake that they have not corrected yet, or I'm 100% wrong. Either way, I'm okay with.
No, continuity-wise, they're on track because they can't show it brand new unless he uses the time stone to bring it back to brand new. But I don't know how that will work. But I'm saying, like, the continuity-wise, yeah, the Gauntlet's fully operational still, I would say.
I don't think it is.
He can heal himself and take himself to another fucking dimension or galaxy, back to his hometown or whatever.
Well, he could have done that just using the stone, though. Wait a second. Wait. We're forgetting something. The stones all worked. The stones could have worked individually, and he could have used the individual stone to take him somewhere else, and another stone could have healed him. It didn't have to be the Infinity Gauntlet that was doing it. It could have just been the stone that he was using each individual one.
Okay, but the gauntlet is designed for that.
Right, but I mean, people were using the stones. I mean, we saw Doctor Strange use the elements of the Time Stone without the gauntlet. These stones can be used without being in the gauntlet. It's just when they're most powerful is when the gauntlet is complete 100%. Now, we know that he uses the Time Stone, or at least the Illusion Stone, because
isn't the gauntlet just a vessel?
Yeah, it's a vessel. It's a vessel that brings all of those strength. It combines all those stones together to make one gigantic, powerful, indestructible fucking gauntlet. Yeah.
Wait, it don't need to have the stones together. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the vessel.
No, but it helps. The gauntlet itself is powerful. And having all the stones in the gauntlet is what Thanos didn't just need the stones. He needed the stones in the gauntlet. He needed to snap his fingers with that fucking gauntlet. That's what the design of it. That's what it was purposed for. Right? If not, what's the fucking point of the Infinity Gauntlet?
Convenience?
All right, let me ask you, Vega. How do they do this then? How does Avengers 4 go if it's not the time travel element and it's not going back in time, even though we've already seen elements of that in the trailer, unless there's another way to explain why Captain Rogers...
we've seen, like...
why Captain Rogers is clean-shaven, why he's wearing a different costume. I don't know. Maybe Vega can explain this. I don't know.
I didn't even know why... I didn't even know Tobes changed his name to Vega. Go ahead, Vega.
Oh, no, sorry, Vega. Go on. I apologize. I don't know where the animosity is coming from, but yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is, I think if it's the Russo brothers, I think because they subverted expectations.
No, he died. Vega died. Oh my God!
I guess I am the new Vega.
I'm here.
There you are. There he is. How you doing there, sexy man?
Yeah, I'm saying. Oh, sorry about that. It's just my phone's all retarded. Anyway, or I'm retarded. But what I'm trying to say is, they're doing the whole thing where the Russo brothers, if they're directing this one again, which I think they are, they're doing the subverting expectations thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're subverting expectations, not Last Jedi style, like they did the last time. I think because they did confirm that Gamora is inside of the Soul Stone.
Yes.
She's not dead, right?
No, she's not dead.
Right. Okay. So everybody that he snapped his finger on is in the Soul Stone, right? So there's a chance for them to come back. I would say.
Wait. Why do you think that everyone that he snapped entered the Soul Stone? Gamora died a different way. He killed Gamora to release the Soul Stone so he can get it. That's why it makes sense why she was in the Soul Stone. Why do you think everybody that he snapped is in the Soul Stone?
Well, I'm just saying a possibility. But
I just saw no indication of that.
They're not. Either way, my idea of what's going to happen doesn't change, whether they're in there or not, right?
Okay.
So I'm just saying, personally, I think hopefully if the Russo brothers and everybody's looking at the climate of people and how they're watching this and everybody's really tired of people just coming back,
right?
That hopefully they get to a point where, they're setting up for new characters and all this other shit and to continue the universe. Hopefully they continue the universe without the people that have died. So you don't get them back, right? I'm hoping that they defeat Thanos and it's one of those things where everybody parts ways with different stones again. We kind of reset, but we go through the process of trying to, get the stones back, but we don't get our characters back. And I think Tony Stark is going to die. I agree with that because I think since he started the MCU, he's got to die because eventually, what are we going to do? Wait till he gets old and he retires? He's going to do Stan Lee cameos? I think he's going to die, and I think it'll be powerful that he does die, and we all kind of look at the screen like, you know what? It sucks, but it makes sense. It's a great way for him to go out in the most epic movie probably ever, in existence. You know what I'm saying? So I think prediction-wise, I'm hoping that they don't come back.
I'm thinking both things can happen. You see, Marvel has always been about sacrifice at the end of the day. And the fact that they made Infinity War so important and heavily bound on how we don't trade lives to go ahead and essentially trade lives, there's a meaning behind that. There's going to be a sacrifice made by, I think, more than one character. I don't think it's just going to be Tony. I do think more than one is going to die of the original Avengers. Or none of them will. It's going to be one or the other. I don't think it's just going to be one major character. I think it'll be multiple. To either move on to other characters, like you were saying. Tony can stay around and not be Iron Man. You know, there's a whole fleet of iron suits that he does in a whole another comic where it makes total sense why he'd be alive and no longer be Iron Man himself. So, I mean, they can get around that relatively easy. Captain America's a little tricky.
It'd be a missed opportunity if they don't kill Tony Stark.
I
think it's a missed opportunity for them to literally look at the crowd and the fans to be like, you know, we've done you guys justice, and we're trying to get to a point where it's not everybody comes back,
right?
And not everybody survives. Maybe everybody comes back, and Tony Stark finally does his sacrifice, and it sticks, as in he's not coming back in the MCU anyway, the cinematic universe. And I think that would satisfy fans and not really piss off fans.
I mean, it could.
I think it would be satisfying.
It could be satisfying depending on how they do it, but I think there's a lot of other ways that they can go about it without having to go that direct route. I think almost everybody expects Iron Man or Captain America to die. I think we could all agree on that. That seems to be the consensus. But what if it's neither of them? What if they go out of like a crazy fucking direction and kill Thor? Kill Thor or kill... They can kill Bruce Banner. I don't think anyone would care about that, to be honest. I don't think anyone would care if they killed Hulk.
Well, think about it. Remember, think about it. You have to think about this as well in an actual filmmaker's mind, right? Thor, Roger, we've gotten his arc. You know, we can finish up Thor. But in my opinion, there's still potential for Thor to continue. Tony Stark, to me, if I was like in the process of the filmmaking, I would be in that room and say, guys, we've beaten the Tony Stark fucking character to death, dude. I think it's time that we give him a graceful exit.
You're right. You're right,
big movie star. He's pretty much done. I think personally, he's made enough money. He's ready to move on as a star. He's ready to move on.
Oh, both him and Chris Evans have said they're basically done. I mean, both of them have said that. So Chris Evans has made a bigger deal about being done with it.
I think that'd be great too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think personally, the one guarantee I would make if I was in the filmmaking process would be, you know, in the room, I would say, guys, I think it's time. You know, it's time to just get it over with Tony Stark.
I think it all comes down to the how. Tobes, you were saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I think Tony Stark as a character in the whole MCU has hit every single beat a character can take.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Caliber. I think his story has come to an end already. And the Avengers Endgame would be his send-off. And that would be really great because, you know, he started it, he has to end it. There's a lot of, I see, the biggest possibilities in my head right now is Tony Stark dies. Or Tony Stark and Chris and Captain America dies.
I think it's possible.
Yeah. So, but sure. in both sort of scenarios, I think both of Tony Stark will die.
I think no matter what, they more than likely.
Avengers.
More than likely. And the fact is, both of them already have people that can take their place. I mean, there's wide speculation that Pepper Potts, maybe not played by fucking bitchy Mick Cuntface, but certainly Pepper Potts could be the.
Tried Goop.
She's probably a Scientologist, a whore.
What a fucking hoa. That's right. No, it's.
She's a hua.
And we know that they've been setting up Bucky forever to be to take on the mantle of the Captain America. We know that's probably going to happen.
They could do Falcon, and that would piss off fans.
I don't like that character.
I didn't either, and I love him in the comics. By the way, I loved when Bucky's been Captain America. I want to say 2 or 3 separate occasions in the comics, and I always loved it. It didn't last very long ever because they always go back to the original, but still, I never had a problem with it. I don't mind Bucky.
I think personally, have you ever watched movies to where you're like, oh God, why is this guy there? Like, I get it, but you know, I don't mind him. But I prefer. I would really like it better if he wasn't there. Like if they replaced Captain America with that guy, I would be like, well, I'm not gonna watch any more movies with that guy in it because fuck that shit.
I don't want him to die per se. I don't want him to die per se. I just don't want him to be living anymore. That's all. The Psycho reviewer in the chat says, Dave, okay, question. What do you think they will do with Hulk? Because they kind of have to do something big with the Green Menace after Infinity War. Now, see, this is the big fuck everything else that I just said. I feel that there's a huge thing that they could do that they've pointed at with Hulk, and that's Professor Hulk. I think that's what's coming. And if they go that way, then that changes some stuff because we're talking about a whole nother situation.
I think personally they set him up for like a new arc.
Yeah, Professor Hulk. Yeah.
Now it's like Banner or Banner, whatever the fuck is the actual guy is, right? The
Banner
to the Superman.
Banner.
His character, you can kind of just wrap him up, but Hulk, because he was like shy or afraid or now fearful because he got his ass whooped. Now he's got a whole new storyline that he's got to get through. So you could start over with him, but in this new movie, he might come in and just fucking be, 10 times more powerful than he was because he got this new energy or this new whatever.
Well, Tobes and I talked about this the other day. Tobes and I actually talked about this the other day because we both agree there's never going to be another Incredible Hulk movie. They don't own the name. They can't do it. But they could do a Professor Hulk movie. And I think exactly what you're talking about, this new power-up, this new storyline, is about the coming together of Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk because Hulk knows something that Bruce doesn't. Hulk can't do this. He needs something more. And they have to they can't have one hand on the steering wheel. Both hands have to be on the steering wheel. And that's what the Professor Hulk storyline was all about.
The problem is, from a filmmaking perspective.
Oh, Christ. You've lost me already, you cunt.
Well, he's not lying.
An incredible Hulk movie, a standalone Hulk movie, can never come to fruition and be good.
I disagree with that.
You can quote me on that because it's so hard to nail a character that there are two characters that need to be developed at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. And merging them into one would make it messy. The dynamics between the other characters in the story are going to shift heavily, and they're going to be very inconsistent. That will make the movie a mess. And it's not worth the gamble to make a Hulk movie because it is literally impossible to make a good one.
I disagree with that. I think they can easily make a good Hulk movie. They just haven't been able to do it yet because they got the wrong people involved with it. They have the perfect Bruce Banner now. I think we can all agree with that. Mark Ruffalo is a great Bruce Banner. Now, they may not be making another standalone.
I think Mark Ruffalo is boring as fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking hate that guy.
Don't talk bad.
What is happening?
Socialist daddy.
What is going on here?
I don't like Mark Ruffalo as an actor is probably like I'm the guy in the room that's like, what are you guys seeing him? Oh, he's this and this and that, and I'm just sitting there like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you seeing?
He's charming and engaging, and he looks into my soul. He's amazing.
And he's a socialist.
You know who else? Now, this is probably gonna make
give a fuck about his politics, Tobes. What's
that,
Vega?
You know, this what I'm about to say might even, if somebody discovers this or clips it, might even lose me subscribers and followers. I will say, in Guardians of the Galaxy, not one, because I agree with the general opinion on that, but 2 and even 1 or 2 parts in Avengers, 1 or 2 parts, not the whole thing. Chris Pratt blows dick at his character.
I can't even talk to you anymore.
Stop. Yeah, throw him out. I'd throw him out.
I thank you. Vega. I want to thank you. Hold on, wait a second. Vega, I want to thank you for the years of friendship that you've given me. You've given me an incredible frame. You have made me better as a person. But every so often, there are events that transpire that people simply have to part. We might be at that juncture, my friend. We may have to part ways.
Me too. I'm sorry,
movie And tell me if the movie, when he's talking, it's not the dead cow eyes. He's talking to the air. He's just his face is not moving. Only his mouth is moving. There's no expression there. He's just talking.
You realize part of the charm of Star-Lord is that he's just a guy, right? I mean, like that's part of it. That's part of it.
He's worse than the guy. He's the guy that you don't want to talk to in a party. That's how he's acting.
In what world?
Chris Pratt acts.
Oh, God.
All the parts, like in Avengers, I think he was good in Avengers, but I think,
I mean, he is Catholic, and it's all over his Twitter. Dude.
You fucking Tobes, shut your Tobes. I really appreciate the years of friendship that you've given me as well.
No, I'm kidding.
But every now and then, there are certain events that happen in someone's life that you simply have to go. It's time to part ways. I'm going to have to cut both of you. You are both the weakest link. Good fucking bye. What is wrong with you two?
Look, he's great in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's great in Infinity War. And he's great in the Jurassic Park franchise.
No, now we're going to have to pump the brakes there. We're going to have to pump the fucking brakes there, sweetheart.
I'm sorry. He's like the best thing in there. Everything else sucks.
That's not saying much. A fucking turd sandwich would have been... No.
He phoned it in.
Oh, fuck off. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is arguably the best movie of the entire MCU. So I can't even get to that point. And where did he phone it in?
I don't think
he phoned it in. He was with Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell. No.
You know what made me laugh the most out of all the MCU?
What's that?
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah. Oh God. By far the funniest movie in the MCU. I agree with that.
I saw that in my Netflix, and I was like, dude, fuck Thor.
Brilliant.
And eventually, I think I was in a room. I think I was in bed with a chick or something, and she was like, oh my God, that movie's so funny. I was like, oh God.
You're still here?
I turned it on, and I fucking laughed my dick off, dude. Like the whole movie, dude.
Well, if the girl was in bed, that's a bad...
That was really bad timing. I mean, talk about unfortunate timing, Vega. Holy shit.
What, for me to say it? I don't like that.
No, to laugh your dick off. We were going with the phrase that you used.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was laughing a lot. I guess there you go.
way to take the fucking illusion, the magic out of a moment, Vega. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. God, gee,
this is why I don't work with soldiers anymore.
Today, huh?
What's that?
I was just about to say that when I was waiting for you to give me the okay.
Wait, I didn't even hear you. What'd you say?
I said this is why I don't work with soldiers anymore.
Oh, man.
Yep, you're dead. Fucking Jesus Christ. All right. We've been live for an hour and a half. Final thoughts. Let's start with... Who got here first? Tobes. I'm going to get you out of here. Tobes, what's your final thoughts on everything that we talked about, whatever else? Now's the time. Get out of here.
All right. I think Avengers Infinity War... Avengers Endgame, sorry, is going to be great. I think... I have complete faith in the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige. They haven't failed us yet, except for Thor: The Dark World, but we don't talk about that one.
And Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Little bit.
All right, yeah.
Little bit.
I'll give you that. Well, no. Iron Man 3 is superior to Iron Man 2.
Oh, and I like Iron Man 2 more. I'll take Whiplash. I'm sorry.
There comes a time.
Look, fuck you. They fucked up Mandarin. I can't forgive that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can't forgive it.
But Shane Black is a wonderful director who.
Fair enough.
Shat the bed a few times.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. If you haven't seen Nice Guys, you have to.
I have not seen Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys, Dave.
I haven't seen that.
Dave.
I don't watch a lot of movies anymore, man. It's hard. I just saw Halloween, the Halloween remake. I just got to watch it.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, that's really it for me.
All right.
I think Avengers is gonna kill, and Thanos has
a big giant purple cock. Yeah, we know, Tobes, and you want to suck it. I know. All right, get out of here, you big freak of nature.
All right, I'll talk to you guys
later. All right. Make sure you guys follow Tobes everywhere that you can. Follow him. He's down below in the comments section, or excuse me, the description box. See you later, Tobes. He's love you, bud.
See ya.
Say I love you, you motherfucker. He didn't say it back, Vega. You heard him. This is bullshit. Fucking garbage.
I heard it.
Final thoughts from you, Vega. What do you got?
I would just say I kind of agree what everything Tobes said, but I think
you're not his type.
Saying that Avengers Endgame is, to me, the sequel to the first Avengers and all the other Avengers. Like, I know it's Avengers 4, but to me, Avengers Infinity War was like the first actual Avengers movie, in my opinion. And then this one, since it's a sequel to that one, it's a two-parter. They got a hell of a job on their hands, because I don't know how they're going to top that last one.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Wow. I was so just like genuinely surprised and very, very refreshing to watch a movie that was like almost front to back. To me, pacing, dialogue,
perfect,
effects, perfect. You know what I mean? Like the sound design, everything to me was like intensely great, right? And I love that movie now. But other than that, dude, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm hoping that they kill some people off that are permanent within the cinematic universe. They're gonna continue in the comics, of course, and I hope that they make it stand up to the last one and even better. Almost a Batman Begins.
I hope so too.
Dark Knight.
I hope so too. I really do.
Dark Knight. Last thing I'll say before I go is all I want for Christmas is for Tobes to shut the fuck up on Twitter so I can unmute him.
Good fucking luck. He's close to getting muted by me too.
I have muted Tobes for, I mute him, I think, every 2 days because I unmute him and all I see is a bunch of bashing of things that make sense. And I just don't know what to do, so all I do is mute him because he just fills my timeline up with, this is stupid because I don't like it, or whatever the fuck Tobes is saying.
Yeah, you got him in a box on that one.
I still love you, but dude, sit down and think for like 20 minutes. Take a shit and just think about it for a minute.
Think before you tweet, Tobes. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
I still love you, Tobes, man. I'm going to unmute you today. Hopefully we can start over.
Vega, tell everybody where they can find you and what you got going on.
Go to DLordVega on Twitter. If you got a Patreon, you can already see a preview of the actual new video coming out, which is, I can guarantee, something you haven't seen before in commentary.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Exciting.
I can probably send you a link.
Oh, wow. I get to be invited back into the inner circle? Wow, look at that shit. Amazing. Whatever.
What
I'll see it or I won't see it. I don't care. I'm no one special. Who am I? Just your brother in arms. You know, no big deal.
First of all, what is it? Like okay. You, Tommy, Clown, Dolan Dark, Cabos, Elvis the Alien, Bunty King, and Leon, and maybe like a couple of more people, but those are like the people I talk to and I trust.
That's a hell of a fucking group to be a part of, man. I gotta say, just to be in that same group with those people that you just put, it kind of made my heart flutter. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, those are like the only people that like in the videos that are coming up. I wouldn't say it's a shout out, right? Because I'm just Vega.
Right.
I would just say I mentioned people. There's Easter eggs in each video.
Nice. That's
coming out. Each one of you guys are in there somewhere.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things that I'm doing that it's still community based. I love community. That's my thing. Yeah, that's what I like, right? I like the community thing. I don't like it to where people get to like 100,000 and they take off and you never hear from them again.
Right.
You know, they disappear. They're too cool now, right? We were all great, like, you know, at 50,000 or 20,000, but now you're gone, right? What happened to you?
It's very common. Very common.
Yeah, fuck that. I can be at 10 million subs. I'll still be fucking around with, I guess, everybody.
But see, that's the thing. I'm going to leave you on this one. But that's because you're like, and almost all those people you just mentioned, you know what they all have in common? They're all fucking old. We're old, Vega.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
We're
all a little older.
Every single one that you just named, we're all fucking old. So we've all lived lives so we don't think this is the end-all, be-all of the existence because we know that it's not. We've all had different experiences that showed us what the world really fucking is. We're adults. That's the difference. So you make a smart choice with all of us. All right, Mr. Vega, I appreciate you, buddy. You have yourself a good night.
Oh, I love you, Dave. Bye, man. Thank you for having me.
Send me that link, dude. I want to see what's going on. I don't want to pay for Patreon, though.
I'll send it to you right now.
All right. I'll talk to you later. I love him. I ain't paying for Patreon. I'm broke. And by the way, thank you, Shai, very much for the donation earlier in the show. You got a nice little beer chug for that, and thank you. Now, before we leave, I'm about to get out of here because I've been live for over an hour and a half. And thank you guys for the epic return to Dead on Dave Live the last 2 nights. Big things coming. I get a robot tomorrow, all right? That's fucking huge news. I'm getting a robot. I mean, that's something you should set your DVRs to. You know, in fact, you should go get a VCR because you're going to want this on get a Laserdisc, Betamax, MP3, every fucking type of thing that you can find, you're going to want because this is going to be historic. I promise you tomorrow you will see something of which the likes you've never seen. Tomorrow you will see the debut of the autonomous live streaming expression servant. That's tomorrow, and it's going to be miraculous. But the other thing that I want to end on, and I find this very funny, is today was a hot take show. That was the point of today. I talked about abuse. I talked about outrage culture. Talked about somebody beating their wife on a stream. Yet the only fucking thing that anybody wanted to talk about and the biggest discussion that happened was over Infinity Wars. Now that's something to contemplate on, and I think that is one of the most telling things that I could possibly say to end a stream. Other than this, thank you all for joining me once again right here on Dead on Dave Live. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like all these people who continue to support on Patreon, which you should be doing too. Take us to that outro, Mr. GunCannon, and peace.